Hi all, this is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, the Eastern End, where the rich and famous play. Yes, the Hamptons, the famed Hamptons. So I don't really get to talk to too many people these days because it's hard to talk through your mask. Sad state of affairs. And COVID is still on people's minds, even though the incidence level in New York and in Long Island is relatively low, lower than in most parts of the country, in fact. And that's pretty amazing considering we were the hotbed of the epidemic. And of course, with school starting in a day after Labor Day in most places, that could quickly change. I hope it doesn't, but it could. Meanwhile, the COVID stocks seem to not be the place to be, as we have an overcrowded space, and the attitude is the epidemic or the pandemic is over. It's not true, of course, but that seems to be the attitude. So we have a bunch of people joining us, let's say Dr. J's friends. By now we're all friends. So let's get a few. Hi all, this is Dr. J, we're back. I guess I hit the wrong button. Jiggly is quite right. The 5-minute test by Abbott has destroyed CODX, along with FLDM, along with all the other um, test stocks, if you want to call it, for lack of a better word, COVID tests. Cabinet guy is here from the Green Mountain States. Magnificent dancer, Shalom. Chigley says he's so deep underwater with DCRX and CODX that he needs a doctor. Well, you've come to the right place. I, for one, have sold all my CODX. When the Abbott announcement came out, I said, okay, I had enough. So took my loss. I didn't have a big loss because I had gains from when I sold some at 30, some at 27 and a half. So all in all, it was a bearable loss. APT, I'm about 10 or 12% underwater on. And for the time being, I quit buying it, although I've still been adding almost daily to my Lake position. Lake is one of my larger positions. I don't know if we have time to go over the chart today, but Lake has definitely consolidated, and I think is ready to move straight up right through earnings, which is middle of September, right? Okay. Jiggly wants to know where Jake is, and Jake is in Austin, Texas. He said he'd be with us at about 5:30 today due to other commitments, so that's fine. We're going to try to have no more than 45 minutes of show from now on. Big text with a little negativity. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why you're saying that, but it may be that the data is near. I don't know if it's the end or just the beginning. Marty S. said, see you in Vegas. I said, no, we'll have a champagne toast over YouTube because of the pandemic. I don't think people are inclined to get in a plane. At least I'm not. So I don't know, big techs, whether the end is here for CVM. We'll have a look at the chart on CVM, though. We're going to look at the chart on the Dow Jones Industrial Averages. You mean you're hoping? I don't think you mean that the end is near in terms of the demise. I think you mean in terms of the data readout. Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what he means. We don't have too much negativity regarding CVM around here. I think Jake and I offer the most negativity, and I'm very bullish, despite my reluctance to call it more than an even money shot. I will not officially do that. I'm hoping to celebrate, but I realize that the odds look like even to me. Big Tex is an optimist after all. To the moon for CVM. Jiggly wants me to say to the moon. Okay, Jiggly, to the moon. How about BCRX? Also to the moon, right? Even the antiviral space is getting crowded. Didn't Merck have a big announcement yesterday about an antiviral? So I don't know. I mean, is Gali better than the Merck antiviral? And there's about 20 other companies working on antivirals. So the space is crowded. The COVID odd space is certainly very crowded. Besides Athersys, it's Meso and PSTI and CAPR and several others. So the space is very crowded. The spit test is space, and the quick test, the antigen test, that space is very crowded. That's the problem with the COVID stocks. There are too many of them. It's a crowded space. Go pick the right one. Even the vaccine makers, I'm not making hardly any money on AZN, and I'm now in the red on BNTX, which I was up about 8 points on the day after I bought it, but it came back down. And Dr. J was looking for 100 on that one, so I got a little greedy. Staying with it because it still may go to 100. I'm selfish? No, Dr. J, one thing is I'm very unselfish. Uh, 10,000 shares of Tandem around 68, you feel terrible. Well, Jiggly sold his 10,000 at 103 fever, and he feels terrible because it's 107, right? Tandem to 200. Yeah, Jiggly, I think it is going to 200. Not too late to get back in. But Kamal, you were smart enough to go into Amgen when it was in that Zoom channel at about 140 to 160. Remember when I shorted that one? And you were smart enough to go into that one. For a while you were suffering with it, but I'm sure you made out just fine. Now it's part of the Dow, believe it or not. Where's Shalom? The selfish comment was directed at Jiggly. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't think Jiggly is selfish. I think we're all unselfish players. We all pull for each other. At least I pull for everybody. Jiggly's not tossing out to the moons willy-nilly. No, you shouldn't. Only your favorites. So Jake is going to be on in a little bit, but I want to go into share screen. Where did Drobo come from? I didn't know. This is what's known as a pop-up. How do I get rid of it? Just like that, huh? Okay, so I'm going to go into share screen, and we're going to look at the diamonds. We're going to look at the Dow itself. We're going to look at Meso, Athersys, CVM, Walmart, BCRX. I'm going to wait for Jake on that one. Geron, I have charted. Geron, I was pathetic on Geron. Last week I posted an oldie an oldie from a couple of years ago that I did on Geron, talking about the potential of imetelstat. And sure enough, they made a big pop after that. So I'm a little prophetic. All right, so we'll look at Geron. I might go yet back into Geron for one more try. This is a Dow Jones, or did I not get into share screen? I don't think I'm in share screen. I clicked on the share screen. It didn't take me in. Come on. Come on. Share screen. There we go. Now I'm sharing, right? Are we sharing now? Not yet. Double click it. Now we're sharing, finally. Okay. All right, so let's look at the Dow first. We're within 100, what is it, less than 100 points of the all-time high. Okay, so let's take a narrower view of this. It's doing nothing but making new highs, dumbfounding everybody. A lot of our friends on Dr. J and Friends are buying the VIX for protection. They feel a pullback is coming. But I might add that I don't think that pullback is coming until we break the old highs. If we cross, where is it? I gotta move this over a little bit. Okay. So once we cross this high, I don't see any stopping it. 129,146, and then it's on to 30,000. I think we see 30,000 plus before we see that pullback. Even though the VIX has been telling us otherwise, I know Professor Spike has been adding to his VIX position. I know some of our friends are cashing out of their 401ks, banking their profits. And it's never a bad idea to do that, unless, of course, the Dow continues to zoom, the S&P continues to zoom, then you get left out, holding cash without the gain. So I try not to go all cash. I may cut down, but I usually don't go all cash. Very rarely do I go all cash. Whether it be my 401k or my trading account, I seldom go more than 40% cash. I don't remember ever going more than that. Okay. So let's go over, I don't think there's much more to add about this. The Dow is just about, I mean, if we look at the latest picture, where are we now with the Dow? We're very close to the all-time highs. So I don't see it stopping. We're at 28,653. 30,000 is a mere 350 points, 250 points, 150 points away. Is that right? 1,000, no, 30,000 is 1,400 points away. My math is a little rusty. Got to do more math in my head. Okay, so I see that happening easily, even though stocks that are going up that shouldn't be going up. Dow components, Boeing and others that are dubious are still going up. I don't see it, but they're going up. I like the new additions to the Dow, Amgen and Salesforce.com, and what was the third one? I don't know. Let's see, is Jake back? Is Jake here yet? It's 5:30. Let's see if Jake is back. take a quick look. Not yet. All right, so we're going to look at Meso next. Meso is, I called this as being the winner of the Harvard odds race a long time ago. Meanwhile, it looks like I somehow clicked on an ad. I don't know how. I'm getting all kinds of ads that I don't want. Okay. Meanwhile, I lost my Meso. It's very sensitive, this, to the touch. And when I have a shaky hand from the Parkinson's, it makes it more difficult. But we'll manage. Get back to Meso string. Come on. Get back. All right. So 1934, but after hours 1750. That we don't like. I don't know what the news is. Was there earnings? I don't know. I'm mainly looking at the charts. Sometimes the after hours don't mean much. I don't know what it was. Can't tell you. But the chart was looking really good before this little pullback. Maybe there was an offering. I don't know. Who knows? I'm only guessing. I don't want to stop to look at the news. Okay, so you see the trend line that I drew, and we're pulling away from that trend line. So it's an extremely bullish looking chart, despite the after hours drop. I've been calling for this stock to be trading in the 20s. I've added recently, and this probably around the pullback area. I probably will add again if it continues to pull back a little bit. I might pull back to the trend line, in which case you have yourself a pretty good bargain at 1750. That's exactly where it is now. That would be the trend line in a couple of days, 1750. Okay, so Mesoblast, you have host versus graft disease, for likely approval, I would think, and you have the race for the Harvard odds, and you have heart failure or myocardial infarction or both. I'm not sure what they are, but they have several different indications for it. And maybe I'm going to take a quick look at what the news is on Meso. I'm curious. Meso, what's the news? Meso, NWBO. Meso. Let's look at what the news is. News. Q4 2020 results. Okay, so that's what the news is. Narrower fiscal loss on higher revenue. What's the problem? I don't know what the problem is. Sounds good. The headline sounds good. Fiscal loss of 14 cents per share compared to 18. Revenue was 32.2 million, up from 16.7 million a year ago. I don't know. Maybe the street expected more. Whatever. You never know with the earnings. But I'm not in it for earnings. I'm in it for the Harvard odds. I'm in it for the host versus draft. I'm in it at least till the end of the year, and we should know more about their heart drug. CVM, are we getting close? Well, you would think so. NWBO is still awaiting final data lock, and they've been in a similar time frame as CVM, but now they're very close to the independent statisticians doing the final analyses. I bought some NWBO today, just for the record. I was in it at like in the teens, ran it to 39 pennies, bought it back at 33 pennies today. Okay, penny stocks are usually not my thing, but NWBO is an interesting one. Notice CVM is pulling away from its trend line. I like that. We have a good cross or a bad cross? We have, I can't see. It looks like the 50, it just, the 50, can't see my colors. The 50 is crossing the 9, it looks like, something like that. I'm drawing lines that I don't want to draw, but what are you going to do? The main line is the trend line that you started with, and I'm not going to bother erasing the other one. I don't want to waste time. But the chart looks very good. We talked about it on Wednesday, that it's showing a turnaround. And it looks pretty clear that that turnaround continues, even on a down day today. So my feeling is, let the data take a little longer, as once we cross 1350 and break from that 1350, we're going to test $15. And that would be a nicer place than where we were in the 11s and 12s. So CVM is looking better short term, with or without data. With or without cheese. How do you like your McDonald's burger? With or without cheese. I like CVM with or without data for now. Walmart. I'm thankful I own some of this. I kept adding to it over the last year, and I'm thankful I did. And along with Amazon, two of the reasons why I'm having a down a year. Today was really the big gainer. Today and yesterday were the big gainers for Walmart. Out of the blue, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You guys see the synergy with TikTok? Barron said this synergy. Apparently, the market liked that as it finished up 380 on the day to 140.28. A very nice candle with a very long shadow. Looking forward to next week on its run to 1. If it happens, would likely come to the middle of this candle at about 134, 135. So we could get a pullback. Wouldn't be surprising. But then again, it wouldn't be surprising if it continues to run to 150 before any pullback. So we'll let the market dictate this one. A lot depends on the Dow and whether it continues to get closer to the new highs. I think it will. Let's see if Jake has made it yet. Having trouble getting back to StreamYard. There we go. No Jake? Pete is here. Rickenbacker von Braun, Athersys. Yes, Athersys. We will definitely chart Athersys. Athersys, I had a talk with the CFO today, and I'm not happy. What's his name? I forgot his name already. He has a British accent of sorts. Oh, what's his name? I spoke to him about a half hour. I can't remember his name. Anyway, we'll talk about it. Pete has no faith in CVM. Pete, I hate to tell you, but I'm not going to be able to dissuade you because I also, I sold half of my CVM. And last week I said I really should sell a half of what's remaining and buy Meso with it. But I did not do that. I said I probably wouldn't because of inertia, and I didn't because of inertia. So we have Sounds by Ramily joined us. We have a whole lot of people that joined us. CVO is Ivor, that's it. Ivor something, Mick something maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, I spoke to Ivor, a very nice fellow, and knows his finances. Says there's enough money that they don't have to go to they don't have to go the route of diluting for at least the short term. But I'm very upset with the COVID situation, the COVID odds, the BARDA situation. I asked him if it was dead. He said, no, they're still talking, but I think it's dead. Tim wants to know if Pete's made any adjustments. It's sometimes due to the fact that you've been a long-term investor, it's difficult to take some off the table. But it's less difficult when you have an average of about $1.60 something and you're selling it at $2.50. You're still making something on your money. So I took some off. Gil von Bocklin is the CEO, right? Bocklin is Bokklyn. Yeah. All right, so we're going to look at Athersys. So I'm going to do that. Well, I want to look at Geron, and then we'll look at Athersys. Is that okay? Yeah, let's go back to the charts. And meanwhile, I'll come back and look for Jake again. Nobody's seen Jake by any chance? No. I didn't think so. Geron is breaking out. Nice candle today, even though there's a big upper shadow, it gave back a lot. But it broke it made a third new high inside of 2 weeks. We love it. I think it's going all the way up to 230 or higher. This is a time to add to your Geron position. I'm going to add to mine. So maybe it's time to go in. I might go in a more substantial way this time. Things are getting closer at Geron, just like they're getting closer at Athersys. I mean, we're all in Athersys for the stroke data, not for COVID data. I think that was a distraction. I wish they hadn't even gone in for the COVID trial. I think they were misled by BARDA, and that hurts. We're going to look at Athersys now. At least we're going to try to look. I'm clicking enough. There we go. I don't like Apple, and I really don't like not having a mouse. But we'll make do. Athersys. I thought I had it charted. I thought I saw a putty pad. I probably did have it charted and somehow or another deleted. Okay, 213, 207 after hours. Yucky poo. I added a 210 the other day. Couldn't have bothered. If it breaks 197, it looks like the next support is 155. And below that, you're looking at some mighty low numbers. So I'm really nervous about this one. Because even though I sold half, I still have a ton left. And Ivor McCork, is that his name? He didn't reassure me too much. I guess he couldn't. So you're in this one at your own risk. There may be some more downside, more pain. And the question is, you hate to get out of too much to get caught with good news and a pop. What if barter does come through? I mean, Japan, Helios on odds, covered odds, a 5-patient trial, even though it's concluded, might take another month or two to get the data. And even then, what does it mean? Even Gil said that in the last conference call. It might be nice to see the data. That's about it. You learn something from it. Well, I don't want to learn something from it. I want the stock to go up because of it. That's not going to happen. So we're not going to get movement on this stock until late in the year or early next year. And that's a long time in biotech land. So by that time, it could be 125 and start running in October, November, and run all the way to 4. I mean, all numbers are possible in biotech land. That's why we play biotech. We like the volatility. But at the same time, you have to have a good stomach for it. So I was talking about this, the low and the close on 619. The low was 156, the close was 197. You want to see 197 hold. If not, I think we're going to test the 156 area. And if it goes below that, we're looking at all the way down to 115, 120, something like that. So, there's still a lot of downside left in this. The truth of the matter is, there's $2 worth of downside. There's an infinity worth of upside. So, that's one reason I don't like to short anything, because you don't want to get caught with an infinite loss. Can infinity occur here? Yes, the sky's the limit. There's a huge market for ischemic stroke. So if this proves out in Japan, and we have concurrent trials in the US and Europe, could be a real big winner going forward. Just right now, it's pain, a lot of pain. And I expect it could continue. I hope I'm wrong. Jake come yet? I keep looking for Jake. I'm looking for Godot and I'm looking for Jake. No Jake? Jake let me down. Pete says, $1.15, $1.20. We've been there before, Pete. And you know something? We might be there again. Pete says some forget the name, bought some incredible amount of Athersys recently. Like half of the amount that Helios owns. Did you hear that? And what exactly does that mean? Somebody made a big investment? I don't know exactly what it means, but there's people that buy and there's institutions that sell all the time. But an incredible amount, that's bullish. You got to think that's bullish. Jackie says, hi back to Jay and Jake. Happy Friday. Where's Jake? Godot, beautiful reference, says Pete. Kamal says APT and co-diagnostics. Yeah, co-diagnostics, I got rid of all of it. I couldn't stand it anymore. Too crowded, that space, the test market. I think the vaccine market is very crowded. You got to be in the winner. We don't know what the winner is. Tim is looking to buy back at $1.50. Would you take $1.60 just to be on the safe side, Tim? Because it could stop anywhere above $1.55. It doesn't have to go to $1.50. It doesn't have to go to $1.60, but I'm just saying it could go up tomorrow. You know, the markets are very tricky. They go up, they go down. It's just that right now, you don't want to. Right now, it's tough to be in ATHX. Very tough. Tim says $1.55 and it's a deal. Lynn is late. Lynn, didn't we have that discussion? You are never late. You are always on time. If you're late, if you think you're late, that means I was early. You're never late. You define the show, Lynn. You're one of the definitions of the show. You know who's late? Jake. Jake is very, very late. We're going to do one or two more. What It Sounds by Ramily asking. SRNE. Opinion on merger agreement, smart farm, equity holder, and neutralizing antibodies to treat that. I almost don't believe anything SRNE has to say anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. JHCO, should I sell Codex? Co-diagnostics. I can't offer an opinion on that, but I will say that I did. After being bullish. They do have a potential ABC test that might be very profitable down the road. But so does Abbott, or it's QUIDL. I can't, Quidel. There's so much, it's a very crowded space. So the combo test they're not the only one. So I don't know. I can't give advice, should I sell, should I buy? But I can say what I did. I try to at least say that. I changed my bullish stance to bearish upon the Abbott news, the Trump order of 750,000. I said, okay, I give up. ONXY2, said Steve. All right, so I'm going to chart BCRX. I was hoping Jake would give commentary on it. I'm worried about the Merck antiviral, and Jake says not to worry. Does Jake still get paid his weekly appearance fee? No, he doesn't. He's going to get punished. He's going to get docked. All right, so Jake, I know, is a busy entrepreneur. When you're running a business, I guess that comes first. But you know, we're gonna overlay ATHX with BCRX. And I think we're gonna stop right here after this. With or without Jakey. Okay, so we're very near the key support level of, this is an ugly chart. Man, more pain ahead. 381. Remember, I pointed that out the last time at 381. That better hold 381. There's not much below that. Ooh, 381 doesn't hold. We could be in for a nasty fall to like 310, 311. Possibly. Or possibly more likely 338. So it's not looking good for BCRX fans. We want to see this level hold. I quit adding to my position because it's getting freaking dangerous looking at chart. So I don't know what's going on in this space. I know they have a lot of catalysts going for them. But again, end of year is a long time. And I don't know when Galley's news is coming, but other news, probably not till the end of the year, other catalysts. So what is that, HAE? HAE is probably bigger news than Galley at this point. Okay, let's go back to look for Jake. Looking for Godot. No Jake. All right, so Kamal, you got anything else? Caleb, Galley by end of, it's still a ways off. If Galley is a ways off and HAE is a ways off, I see it possible to pull back quite a bit yet. Jiggly says, they can't take away the new furniture to 10, no matter how much you lose. That's why you got to buy tangible investments like real estate and furniture. Pete says, September? Oh, that's not too bad. What is September? Is that Galley? I don't know what September. Galley by end of September. Oh, okay. Tim says I lost so much money on biotech this year, made a good amount in FANG and tests. I keep asking myself, why do I still do biotech? You know, I made that remark on this show about 3 weeks ago, and Linda and Jigglypuff and a few others said they can't buy FedEx because it's $150 a share. Well, if you bought one share, you'd have $227 now. So you can buy quality and make money, even if you buy one share, two shares, three shares. Don't be ashamed of buying odd lots. And you can make a lot of money on blue chips when the market is so inclined. Or you could buy options. Okay, Jiggly says his managed funds and 401k is on fire. That's all that really matters to me. That's good, Jiggly. I'm glad that you're doing well. But some people, I won't mention names, some of our friends on the last show said they went to all cash in their 401k, getting nervous, they want to lock in their gains. We're all doing well on our 401k, most of us. Linda, did you start early? He wants to know if Jiggly started early. Did you start when you were 18 or you started when you're 38? Makes a big difference. We ought to have Spike on as a real guest and talk about the power of compounding and how to invest in your 401k. That is his freaking specialty. We have to bug him to do it. Come on with his Excel spreadsheets and teach us a thing or two. Right? I gotta get after Spike. Remind me to do that. Maybe we'll have a special show on that. Jake is at Whistler's getting drunk. No, Jake said he has a meeting for one of his businesses. You thought it was at 5. Yeah, normally. Professor Spike is great, minus his audio difficulties. Yes. He has audio difficulties, but he has a good beard to make up for it. The beard is solid. Okay, so Jake is great when he's sober and he's here, right? All right, so I guess we're going to call it a night. I promise no more hour shows, and here we are going an hour. No, 45 minutes. That's enough. Professor's haircut is too unpredictable. Yeah. All right, so we're going to give Spike all the feedback about his beard, his haircut. What else? His audio difficulties. I'll make him watch the replay. And to all of those who couldn't be here live with us tonight, I'm glad you could join us on replay. And try to make it live with us. We like the live audience. It's Crex, why did you promise no more hour show? America wants a 2-hour show. Well, Jake yelled at me, says the average, or somebody yelled at me, said the average YouTube video is 22 minutes, and I'm doing an hour. And then I get people complaining that an hour is just too much. So I think if I do 40 minutes, 45 minutes, even a half hour, and do maybe a third show. That would be better. You have a great weekend too, Jiggy. We all love you as well. Bye all. Bye Linda. Bye Samson. Bye Ramali. Bye Tim. Bye Jackie. Bye Lynn. Whoever else I'm forgetting. Magnificent Dancer. Shalom. Au revoir. Arrivederci. Sayonara. Ciao.